According to Scrum, the product goal is the commitment to the product backlog. But what does that really mean? How does a product goal differ from a sprint goal? How does a product goal relate to a product vision or a product strategy? Well, first, some more detail on what these things are and why they are important. Firstly, the product goal. The product goal is a simple directional statement that defines an objective and purpose, the why, for the work in the product backlog. It should be motivational, directional, tangible, measurable, and concise. The product goal exists in the product backlog. Not every product backlog item in the product backlog needs to relate to the current product goal. There's only one product goal for the product backlog at any one time, although it could address multiple objectives. As each increment is produced, the product incrementally moves towards the product goal. Next, the sprint goal. The sprint goal is a simple directional statement that defines an objective and purpose, the why, for the work in the sprint backlog. It should be motivational, directional, tangible, measurable, and concise. The sprint goal exists in the sprint backlog. Not every product backlog item in the sprint backlog needs to contribute to the sprint goal. And there is only one sprint goal for the sprint backlog at any one time, although it could address multiple objectives. As each sprint goal is achieved, the product incrementally moves toward the product goal. So as you can see, the definition of the product goal and sprint goal are near identical, with the scope of each being the only real difference. This is because they serve a similar purpose, only over a different time period. The product vision, product strategy, and product roadmaps are outside of the scope of Scrum and therefore not covered by the Scrum Guide. However, they are commonly used complementary good practices, so it's worth describing them in the context of the product goal and sprint goals. Firstly, the product vision. There may also be a product vision that describes the product goal in more detail, or it may describe a much higher level narrative where the product goal, or a series of product goals, is the first step towards achieving that much bigger vision. Next, the product strategy and product roadmap. Well, product strategy or product roadmaps often provide a directional plan for realizing the product goal, or a series of product goals. Product goals would be the milestones on a product roadmap that Scrum teams need to target to realize their product vision. So why are product goals and sprint goals so important? The Scrum Guide says artifacts that have low transparency can lead to decisions that diminish value and increase risk. Transparency enables inspection. Inspection without transparency is misleading and wasteful. So the commitment contained in each artifact, the product goal, the sprint goal, and the definition of done, is intended to improve the transparency around the associated artifact. This enables better inspection and adaptation, which ultimately leads to a more effective empirical approach. Empiricism is deciding what to do based on what we learn, informed by data and feedback. Empiricism is what Scrum is all about. Why can we only work on one product goal at a time? Well, the Scrum Guide says that the product goal is the long-term objective for the Scrum team. They must fulfill or abandon one objective before taking on the next. The reason for this is that many leaders are ineffective at setting clear priorities. They either do not or cannot prioritize, or they do not clearly communicate the priorities when they've been set, or they set many top priorities, say 5 or more. And this is the everything is a priority, therefore nothing is a priority situation. The result of all or any of these things is that the people closest to the work, and often the most junior people, get to set the priorities in practice day to day. And this isn't a situation you want to be in, as these people are unlikely to have access to all the information they would need to make the best decisions. The big priorities should be set by somebody who has the big picture. Picking one tangible, measurable, and succinct product goal provides real clear guidance on what is most potentially valuable to the Scrum team and stakeholders right now. It leaves less space for ambiguity, and less can be more. The intention around the product goal is to ensure focus and transparency around what is most important to achieve and why. Now, of course, there are some possibilities left to us here. The product goal could address multiple objectives. However, this may reduce focus and transparency, but it could be appropriate under certain conditions.